Good evening, folks. It's Mike here again, out here on the porch. Uh, Tonight I've got this King of the Leaf. It's like a cigar club. I used to be part of it one time. I've canceled it now, but they sent out some, I don't know, craft. I don't know what you call them, small, just cigar manufacturers. It's a King. This is a King of the Leaf Thriller. It's a Halloween themed one, so I've had it a little while. Um, it's supposed to be. I tell you what, it smells kind of chocolatey. It's always weird for a cigar, but it does. Espresso like a coffee. We'll see how it tastes. If it's got this, I already cut it, but it's got this foot on the bottom. I singed it a little bit before I started, so that's why it's black. I'm gonna go ahead and light it now. So, hope you all have had a good week. Mine was short, as you know. Just got back from this trip, so when you get back, you've got a million emails. I tried to go through some of them while I was away, but there's always stuff to take care of. But it's all good. Yeah, it was all good. Got caught up. So today was a good day because I was caught up and had some time to catch up on some other things. So, but it's a beautiful night today. I got home. We went swimming. It was nice and warm. They turned the heater on the pool, so it heated up the water. But wife and I, she was waiting when I got home, and went out, had a drink, got in the pool. Pretty good evening. Um, this thing's pretty good. Definitely chocolate. It's like a weird how a cigar can taste like chocolate, sweet like that. But I guess the same thing goes with whiskey. How do they get these tasting notes? I'm not good at all that, but the more I've smoked them over the years, the more I kind of get it. Even the smoke, even the smoke smells kind of chocolatey. It's weird, but anyway, I don't know if you can get this other than through them. I'm not sure if they sell individual. Like I said, I used to get 5 or 6 every month for a while. Yeah, and they had some pretty good cigars, stuff that you never see in the store. I don't know where they got them from. I enjoyed them. I just after a while I just canceled it because I get tired of paying for subscriptions. But um, yeah, it's pretty good. So tonight I've got some Weller's Special Reserve. I'm sure you've seen that. Um, you can't in Florida, as far as I know, the only place you can get it is ABC Liquor, which is not a state-run store like some of the states. ABC is a company. We don't, it's just the name of a corporation, corporate liquor store here. They have a vault. They have like a basically a preferred customer program. You got to be in that. It's crazy. Uh, People I know have been up to Kentucky and brought me some back. And actually, one of the neighbors one time listed a bottle on Facebook and sold it for pretty close to MSRP. So um, I've got 2 of them. I got 2 more coming. Friend, a neighbor of mine's up in Kentucky now. Supposed to be bringing 1 or 2 back. So I decided to go ahead and drink up this one because I hate to drink them because then you can't find them again. Because other than ABC, unless you're in their little vault program, you can't get it. So anyway, but I enjoy it. If you haven't had it, it's kind of it's a weeded whiskey, so it's like kind of soft and sweet. Caramel. It tastes and even I don't know a little bit of cherry. It's kind of weird, but it's pretty good and kind of tastes like it smells. It's funny, Buffalo Trace. A lot of people love it, but you see a lot of people bang on them. because they are so popular. But you know, me personally, I do enjoy Buffalo Trace products, um, but I don't understand why people hate on stuff just because people like it. I know stuff gets hyped up and all, but I just like I don't pay more than MSRP for stuff, maybe a little bit more, but yeah, I'm not going to pay a couple $100 for a bottle of something that costs, 40, 50, $60. That's just stupid. But I mean, unless you want to, you do you, but I'm not doing it. So everything I drink, I got at or close to MSRP if I ever show it to you. But pretty good. I enjoy it. I always go by what I buy another bottle, and yes, I've got it back up now, and I've got one or two more coming. So that tells you I like it. It's only 93 proof, but it's pretty good. Pretty good for after dinner. It's kind of sweet, desserty, I would say, but I enjoy it. And Weller has a whole line of different ones, different prices. I've got the only other one I've ever had, and I have a bottle in there, is that I think it's the Antique 107. I like that one a little better, but I've only got one bottle of that in there. I haven't been able to get any more, so I'm trying to save it. Maybe one day I'll bring it out here and we'll drink it together. um, but I'm enjoying it, man. It's nice out here tonight. It's supposed to cool off again tomorrow a little bit and be windy, but right now it's beautiful, beautiful out here. You know, it was funny. I grew up in this area here, and I'm near. If you know where St. Augustine is, I'm kind of close to St. Augustine, south of Jacksonville. Um, I'll be 56 this year, and I grew up here. It's pretty rural out here. When I was a kid, there was farms still, and cow pastures, and little stores, and um, it was pretty nice growing up out here. And even in the city of Jacksonville was not very big. I mean, Jacksonville's got an airport, and I remember as a kid, you could drive out to the airport and a lot of times see somebody you knew. You go out there to pick somebody up or something from the airport, and you run into some family member or friend or somebody you knew. It's kind of a small town feel. It wasn't really a small town by any means, but you kind of had that feel to it a little bit. It's a big small town, I like to call it. Now that's gone. It's not. It's no New York City, but it's no longer any sort of a small town. The population has exploded, just like everywhere in Florida. And out here where we live now, it used to be real country. Is very. It's the suburban hell that Florida has become, of planned communities, um, house after house on little tiny lots. As you can see, I'm in one of them right now, and strip malls, friggin' strip malls everywhere. Ugly, ugly, ugly strip malls. So I contrast that with where we just were up in Tennessee. Um, I don't know. Looking at them, people said we were not too far from Nashville, I guess, an hour, but you might as well have been in the middle of nowhere. All farmland, little tiny towns, the town square. Um, a beautiful area, just absolutely amazing. If I didn't have grandkids nearby, I wouldn't mind moving a place like that. Like my dad lives up in North Georgia mountains. Again, it's a beautiful area. Um, it's getting crowded too, but not nothing like where I'm at here. And he lives outside of town, so it's still quiet. His property backs up to the Chattahoochee National Forest, so it's got it pretty good out there. But where I went, it was funny because everybody was so friendly. You go there and you go in places, and no matter where you, I guess people all know each other, or have at least seen each other. So when somebody, like, we walk in, because it wasn't the accent, because numerous people, when they asked me, where y'all from, I tell them we're from St. Augustine area. They go, "Oh, dang! I thought from your accent you were somewhere here local, or somewhere in the state of Tennessee." I said, "No, no, no." But they knew we weren't from that area because they never seen us before, and it was that small that you probably would have recognized people. Um, but here's so the town of Fayetteville, Tennessee. It's one section's like an old section with the town square with the courthouse in the middle, and the stores and shops and restaurants kind of around it. There's an old drugstore. There's antique stores, and it was actually a cigar lounge there that I unfortunately never made it to. Small one, cigar shop. I just never got back. I went to go back to it, never got back. But believe it or not, in that little town, they had a cigar lounge. Oh, but outside of town on the way out, there's a road, um, and it was a Walmart out there, a small one, but there's a Walmart, and there's around it stores that kind of go around Walmart's, little restaurants and things like that. Not a whole lot, but a couple strip malls and things. But it's funny. We go into the Walmart, and just like all the Walmarts now, they've got a million self checkout lines, right? And then if you're lucky, the Walmarts around here they'll have a bunch of regular lines where the cashiers will be, but they'll have like one open, one, and it's really a miserable experience going to the store now. I like to shop at Publix. We got one right up a couple miles from here, and they've gone to they were always good big on customer service. If you think of Chick-fil-A, to me they're a lot like Chick-fil-A, where you walk in, everybody's friendly, clean cut. They got a look. You go into a Walmart grocery and they got purple hair and nose rings, and they don't have any of that at Publix. I think they must have some kind of a dress code, or you can't. You got to be clean cut and just have a look. Like I said, it reminds you of Chick-fil-A, I guess. Most of the time, people are friendly, but anyway, we're at this Walmart up in Fayetteville, and the Walmart's here. I refuse to go in, and my wife will still go because she likes to save money. But I hate. I won't go because you go in there, and there's all kind of weird freaking people working there, and there's one line open, and I don't. I'll put it this way: a buddy of mine years ago went to Home Depot when they first started with those self checkout lines. He had a bunch of lumber. He does some handyman. He's a retired policeman, but he does handyman stuff now. He builds decks and puts in floors and all that stuff out where he lives. And so the guy directed him to the self checkout. And he goes, my friend goes, tells the guy, he goes, well, am I going to get a discount over there if I got to ring up my own stuff? The guy looks at him like he's crazy. Well, no. He goes, well, why would I do that? You're not paying somebody to ring this stuff up for me and handle all that. Shouldn't I get a discount because you're saving money? And they act like he was crazy. And to this day, you don't see that. They don't give you no discount for just checking out your own crap that they used to have to pay somebody to do. And I don't know if it's a generational thing. I'm not 100, but I could see, my kids probably don't think nothing of it. They didn't grow up. When they grow up, they still had cashiers, but it's a different generation. I want to go through the line and talk to somebody. I want to talk to the cashier. Them, how's your day? Everything all right? That little conversation, kind of depending on who it is. Some people are jerks, but most of the time it's a pretty good interaction. So we're up there in Tennessee, and we go through the line, and the gal was a local young girl, and she was talking to us about where y'all from, that whole, we got everywhere we went up there. And, you leave there kind of in a good mood, better mood than when you got there. And, here you go to these places with these self checkouts, and it's like a soulless experience. Sometimes my wife will work on a Saturday, and I'll run up to Publix and get a sandwich or something, and I'll go through the self checkout. And you can leave the house, drive up there, get your pickup, whatever you're going to pick up, and check out, come back home, and not talk to one person. And it's just a weird feeling. So that's exactly what happened on Saturday. What, the day we came back, and then I was off one more day when I was home. So she went off with my daughter somewhere, and I went up to the store. And that's when this dawned on me, the difference between that trip to that Walmart in Tennessee and the trip to the Publix here near my house. And I said, that's the difference. That them so we in Tennessee, they had all these self checkouts and nobody was at them. They had 10 cashiers, like you used to see. So everybody was going in through the lines where the cashiers were. And here, a much bigger Walmart, one cashier, one cashier, and then one gal up there running around trying to help you ring up all your stuff because nothing ever rings up right. Or you're trying to buy alcohol and they got to look at your ID. All this stuff that extra, you might as well just have a cashier there. Then they're trying to catch you stealing stuff. They got a whole thing I've seen on TV where, people, they got a camera and people won't ring stuff up and they'll put it in the bag, and now they're arresting people, and rightfully so. But why don't you just have a cashier ring up the stuff? It's just kind of crazy that the world has gone to the way it is. And it's sad having grown up here to remember what it was to what it is now. And that's progress. And I hate to sound like get off my lawn guy, but I'm sure I do. But it's just, think about now all the Publixes around here, or the McDonald's. If you go into a McDonald's now, get a breakfast sandwich or something, there's no cashier. You go to a kiosk and you hit a touch screen, and God forbid you don't want onions or something on it because you can't figure out how to do that. And you order it and you wait over there till they stick it in a little cubby and slide it out to you, like you're in prison or something, and they have a little cash register there, but it's like if you go up there, they'll point at one time, they just say nothing. They just pointed to the kiosk. And I'm like, I don't want to go to the kiosk. I want you to ring me up. And they'll do it, but it's like you asked them to dig a ditch. And then other times there's just nobody. You could stand there for 10 minutes and nobody will walk over to you. You'll have to start hollering at them if you need ketchup or something, or the Coke machine's out of friggin' syrup or something. It's like they do not want to talk to you, and I get it. It's a job, but it's a crazy experience shopping and going in. It's no wonder people shop online now, because you might as well just stay home if you're going to get treated like that. Of course, I got a whole Home Depot story I'll tell one night that I'll refuse to go there anymore because of their customer service. But I don't know. It's just it's kind of depressing. Just thinking back to the way things were, and not just with this, with a lot of craziness going on nowadays. Just sad. I don't understand it how we let it, because we let it. You shop with your wallet, but what do? We all walk in there to that stupid self checkout and check out your own stuff, and don't demand a discount for doing their job. Because they dang sure ain't making the products cheaper. They go, well, we're saving you money, and they'll put out those things. We're going to save you money. Put your carts back at the little holder, which you do. I do, because that's just polite. It's just the right thing to do. But they'll just, save us money by putting them. Well, that ain't what you going to mark down my food? No, that's saving the store money. That ain't going to pass it on to you. I just put the cart back because that's what you should do. But I don't know. The whole difference between the two locations was just such a big difference in how you felt after you went shopping there. You spent the same amount of money. You still aggravated because stuff costs way too much. Um, and you know, but but you felt better when somebody actually takes the time to talk to you or ask you about your day, or you talk about a story, the dog, or something. And even if you're in a bad mood and you're thinking, I don't want to talk to nobody, you can't help when you get the right person, but walking away, just feeling a little bit better, thinking, you know what, it ain't so bad. Everybody's not an asshole. um, I don't know, but just something that came to me the other day, and it's kind of dumb, but it just bothered me a little bit when I got to thinking about it because things aren't going to go back. In fact, they're just going to get worse with AI and all this stuff. That you can't talk to nobody on the phone. You get an AI person who don't really answer your question right. Anyway, still enjoying this cigar. It's held a pretty good ash, a pretty even burn. Haven't really had to mess with it too much. Um, One day I'll show you my humidor. Um, it's kind of interesting. It's one of those little coolador things that looks like a little mini fridge. Not very big, but it came with you're supposed to put the water in the little plastic thing, and and it had it cools the air in it, and it has a plug. And I tried and I tried, and the dang humidity went up, spike, get low. It was crazy. I couldn't keep it. So I just said, you know what? It's sealed. Let me just get some Bovita packs and leave it in the house. Stays about the right temperature anyway. Here in Florida, your house pretty much stays the same all year. And I put some of the big Bovita packs. I put one in there. I think I got one. Maybe there might be. Sometimes when I buy a new one, I leave them both in there till it fully dries up. But that humidity stays perfect. I like mine a little drier. Some people do the whole 70-70 thing. I like I like the humidity down in the 60s, 65 to 67. To me, I get a better burn. Um, they stay lit. When I try to keep them up around 70, it seems like they go out. I don't know. I just, my preference, everybody's probably different, but it's funny um, how you spend this money on this thing that's supposed to be, air conditioned or cooled, and with a little water dish, and you don't use any of it. You just stick your cigars in there. And I think when you pack that thing with cigars, it seems to keep the humidity better when it's full than when it's low. So it gives me an excuse to buy more cigars. And I think there's something to that because these cigars probably hold some humidity, and it probably just keeps the whole thing more stable. But don't keep it plugged in. All I keep is the bigger Bovita packs, about that big, in there, about one at a time, and sometimes there'll be two when they're overlapping. But um, keeps them perfect. I still getting chocolate on that smoke. When you blow the smoke out, it smells like a dark chocolate. The taste is kind of not as chocolatey as it was. It's more earthy, pepper, a little bit leathery, and like pepper, because you get a little spice almost to it. It's weird, but it's good. I like it. And this whiskey, very sweet, very sweet. fruity, but pretty good. Actually goes well with this cigar for some reason. But I rambled on long enough. I'll try to make some more videos this weekend. I don't know when I release them, but I appreciate y'all hanging out with me this evening. Tell me how you keep your cigars. I got a at work. I've got a desktop humidor, and it just does not hold humidity in there well at all. No matter what I put in it. I don't know if it's not sealed right or what, but tell me what y'all use to keep your cigars. And tell me what you think of these Wellers, if you have a favorite amongst that line. I like the 107, but I've only had these two. So let me know what you think. And that's all I got for this evening. I hope y'all have a good weekend. And y'all have a good night.